The husband needs from the woman softness instead of hardness, so happiness instead of anger, being more compliant and less dictatorial, basically not telling them what to do. I don't know how else to put it.
That champion of women's rights is Suzanne Venker, the author of The Alpha Female's Guide to Men in Marriage, where she instructs women on how to be the beta in a relationship so that their husbands don't cheat on them or become dissatisfied in their marriages. Should I stop there? Yes. Will I? Nope. Because Suzanne continued her crusade against her gender in her most recent piece for The Federalist. Now, this is the same site that features headlines like, "Sorry college kids, there's no such thing as hate speech," and "If Bill O'Reilly followed Mike Pence's rules about women, he might still be on TV." So while I trust approximately nothing that they say, Suzanne's article about how women can prevent sexual harassment at work really spoke to me. I'm Hannah Cranston, and you can beta your ass. I'm gonna have something to say about this one. Suzanne starts off the article by saying women know exactly what they're doing when they engage in banter with powerful men, which is how she sets the scene for the rest of her, well, they were asking for it, antics. But then she quips that the left will accuse her of victim blaming, guilty, and says that truly strong women in the workplace know how to keep sexual propositions at bay, and offers ways that they do so, like dressing appropriately. Now, who doesn't love a good old, well, what was she wearing? Throwback. Obviously, women simply dress to be assaulted, right? And if there's anything that strong women know how to do, it's how to not invite trouble, according to Suzanne, which of course implies that men are so weak that they can't control themselves from sexually harassing a woman because her skirt is above her knees, or they can see the slightest outline of a boob through a sweater, which kind of ruins the whole men are the strong alpha thing, but what do I know? I'm just a woman. The next little nugget of advice Suzanne generously offers us ladies is to not flirt in the workplace. Now, she's back to her whole don't banter in the office, because otherwise you're basically offering yourself up to be called hot chocolate and have your boss masturbate while on the phone with you, huh, Bill? And as any woman will tell you, being nice and maybe laughing at your jokes totally means that we want to f you and are asking for you to proposition us. In fact, Suzanne says it's unfair of us to ask men to see us as anything but sexual beings in the workplace. She even goes so far to say that it's impossible for men to just ignore our breasts, our behinds, our perfume, and our legs, ignore the sound of our voices and the softness of our touch. This is the logic that women are inherently sexual objects, existing solely for men's lusting after, and that again, men are incapable of noticing a woman's legs or perfume without perpetrating unwanted sexual advances on them. And do you know what you do when men are compulsed with no human agency to touch or grab or proposition you in the workplace, according to Suzanne? You nip it in the bud. Her third and final word of wisdom. According to her, if you let a man know clearly and firmly that you're not interested, he won't sexually harass you. Just like how Wendy Walsh told Bill O'Reilly when she refused to go up to his hotel room. And it worked until she was promptly dismissed from Fox News.
After I declined, he became hostile and eventually barred me from Fox News.
Because that's the problem when you tell women what they should be doing to stop threats and abuse against them. You dismiss the very root of the problem, the perpetrator. Now, both men and women can perpetrate sexual harassment in the workplace, but either way, we need to address the offender, not the victim. Shaming the victim of harassment creates humiliation, a fear of coming forward, and a culture of abuse that perpetuates a disgusting power dynamic that hurts everyone in the workforce. According to a recent survey, 1 in 3 women has been sexually harassed at work. And of those 2/3 who say they haven't, 16% say that they have received sexually explicit or sexist remarks in the workplace. This means that a culture of harassment, misogyny, and victim shaming has become so ingrained that a lot of women don't even recognize these acts as harassment. And if they do recognize it, the majority of women, a whopping 71%, don't report it. Why? Because they know that either nothing will be done to remedy the situation, or they risk losing their job, or some other woman will go on Fox to tell them that it's their fault that a coworker or boss made inappropriate advances while they were trying to do their job because their skirt was too short, they laughed too much during conversation, or they didn't shut it down fast enough. This is the culture that we're living in. A culture where a woman like Suzanne Venker can write a book to shame all other women. A culture where a TV host doesn't get fired because he sexually harassed women. At least not until the show lost advertisers because of it. This is not a culture any of us should want to live and work in. So it's about time we address the harassers, the perpetrators of these acts, the ones culpable for all of the blame and stop pointing the finger at the victims. The first step? Share this video with your friends so we can stop this sort of nonsense and see what sort of nonsense I get up to at Hannah Cranston. Thanks so much for watching TYT.